Vision Care විශ්වාසනීය දැක්ම.
සාධාරණ මිලයි විශ්වාසවන්ත සේවාවයි.
The Presidential Commission of Inquiry probing the Easter spate of terror yesterday issued notice to former President Maithripala Sirisena and his private secretary to appear before the commission in connection with a communique issued by his private secretary accusing former Defence Secretary Hemasiri Fernando of lying before the commission. However, former President Maithripala Sirisena did not appear before the commission this morning and was represented by President's Counsel Maitri Gunaratne. The private secretary to the former President Samira De Silva too appeared before the commission this morning. Notices were also issued for the 3 auxiliary bishops of the Archdiocese of Colombo to appear before the Presidential Commission this morning with regard to the issuance of a statement rejecting allegations made by MP Harin Fernando that the Cardinal may have had prior knowledge about the Easter attacks. Accordingly, Auxiliary Bishop of the Archdiocese of Colombo, His Lordship Right Reverend Dr. Maxwell De Silva, appeared before the Commission. Commenting on the controversial communiques, the chairman of the commission issued warnings to the former president, his private secretary and the 3 auxiliary bishops of the Archdiocese of Colombo to not issue such statements in future over ongoing proceedings of the commission. Meanwhile, Pujith Jayasundara, who was the Inspector General of Police at the time of the Easter attack, was called to testify before the commission for the 3rd day today. During the proceedings of the commission, the IGP said, quote, "Despite former President Maithripala Sirisena instructing the police to not conduct an open investigation into Islamic extremism in the beginning of 2018, I instructed the CID to inquire into the murder of Vaunathu police officers, the vandalizing of Buddha statues in Mavanalla and the discovery of explosives in Vanathavilluva," unquote. The Additional Solicitor General then questioned the IGP, quote, "Isn't that disobeying the orders of the President?" unquote. In response, the IGP said, quote, "Yes, I disobeyed. I was helpless due to the situation. Do I to tell this to my senior officers that the President gave me such instructions? I could not take advice from anyone. I was helpless to the point that I could not even discuss about this anyone," unquote. The IGP went on to say that, quote, "There was a police athletic event. Around 6,000 to 7,000 police officers were to participate. I invited then President as well as the then Minister of Defence Maithripala Sirisena to participate in the event. The President refused the invitation, saying that he needs to be at Bandaravilla, and then asked me to speak to the Secretary. Then I called the Secretary to the Ministry of Defence. He too was reluctant at first and finally came to the event late. The Defence Secretary received a call from the President. He told me the President would call me, and he did call me. From whom did you get approval to hold such events with this amount of officers? What is this event? The President questioned me. I told him that this was the police athletic event. He asked me, quote, "With whom are you holding such events?" unquote. For which I replied saying, quote, "I informed the Secretary about the event," unquote. The President furiously questioned me, quote, "How can you invite the Secretary? Don't you know that you are supposed to inform me?" unquote. I with a low voice responded, quote, "Sorry sir, I invited you. Since you refused it, I managed to bring the Secretary late," unquote. The President then asked me, quote, "When did you inform me? I'll take care of this," unquote. And then he hung up on me. Testifying before the commission, the IGP became emotional, saying, quote, "I was under a lot of stress because of such incidents. I had no way of sharing this to anyone. When the President declared me and the then Defence Secretary responsible for the Easter attacks, and when it was given continuous publicity by media, I chose not to utter a single word to media, not even via the police media spokesperson, because he was the executive president of the country, as well as the minister in charge of defence. As a disciplined officer, I made no statements. I spoke for the first time at the Parliamentary Select Committee, that too with permission." The IGP added that, quote, "Although the Commission has so far uncovered some facts regarding the Easter attack, I have a lot of undisclosed facts. What did the head of state say when there was so much destruction after the attack? He said he didn't know, he wasn't told, and that he is not responsible. He said the IGP and the Defence Secretary should be held responsible," unquote. The IGP testified, quote, "Not in the history has there been a tradition of the IGP informing the President about intelligence. I was present when the intelligence services testified here. The SIS said the entity does not have enough officers and enough facilities, but it was the state intelligence that received full facilities and privileges from the Ministry of Defence. They received more increments than the others. They only had one subject to cover. How much funds does the Ministry of Defence secretly pass for the State Intelligence Service? It is not even audited, unquote. Meanwhile, the then State Minister of Defence, Ruwan Wijewardena, arrived to testify before the Commission this evening.
ලීව ආයුෂ් කරාබු නැටි දන්තාලේපය ශක්තිමත් දත්තිපලකට